and all of our grandchildren that come with us. And I thank you for your prayers, and I still covet you for your prayers because this is something very, very new for me. I'm not like Brother Jamie or any of the other ones. I was literally in my bedroom yesterday, and I was studying, and I've been doing this for a while, as you'll hear. And I was in there yesterday, and I finally just stopped, and tears were streaming down my face, and I threw up my arms, and I said, God, are you sure you didn't make a mistake? I don't know what I'm doing. I've wrote, and I've studied, and I've looked it up, and I've done this, and I've done that. God, are you sure you didn't make a mistake? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do this. And just sure as I'm standing right here, God spoke to me, and he said, you fill it up, and I'll pour it out of you. So I said, okay, God. I studied, and I'm just going to give to you what I feel like God has given me. It may not be for any of you. It may just be for me. But I'm going to tell you, I feel like that God is working. A couple of weeks ago, Brother Jamie was preaching, and I texted him, and I said, man, you were all over what God has asked me to speak. So if we'll all stand and we'll turn to Matthew 14, chapter 7, verse 17, and then we're going to read 21. It says, and they say unto him, we have here 5 loaves and 2 fishes. And then going down to 21. And they that had eaten were about 5,000 men, besides women and children. If you'll go over to John 6, verse 9. There is a lad here which have 5 loaves and 2 small fishes. But what are they among so many? I'm going to title this message tonight, What's in Your Basket? Brother Jamie, would you pray? God, take this clay, God, that you've given me, God, and anoint me, God. God, you give me these words, God. You show me, God, and I pray, Lord, that you show me. You show me what you want, God. Help me, Lord, to speak what you want me to speak, Jesus. Oh, God, help me, Jesus. Have your way, Jesus. Have your way, Lord. Have your way, Jesus. Oh, God, Lord, help me, Jesus. You're a vessel. God, you're a vessel. God, I pour it. God, I want to be what you want me to be. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. In the name of Jesus. You may be seated. When we read this story, as I was thinking about this, you see that this little boy had a basket. And he was a lad out there in the midst of all of those people in that multitude, and he had his basket. And inside that basket was 5 loaves and 2 fishes. And as he was out there and Jesus was preaching to the multitude, all of a sudden they're like, you know what? The people are hungry. We need to feed them. But we don't have anything. Let's send them away. Well, they said, there's this little boy over there. They called that little boy over. He brought his basket over, and he gave it to Jesus. What was in that little boy's basket fed so many people. So many people. And as you notice, I looked it out and I searched it. And one time did that little boy say, no, this is my basket. No, this is my food. This is for me and my family. No, you go get your own. You go out there. There's the water. There's over there. You get your bread. You do whatever you have to do. But this is mine. This is all mine. You can't have what I got in here because this is mine. No, that little boy walked up and he handed his basket to Jesus. And what did they do? They divided it amongst everybody. Everybody ate. In fact, they ended up having stuff left. We walk around with our baskets. And I got to thinking about what's in our baskets. And I thought, Lord, what's in our baskets? As we walk around and we come into church and we have our baskets. And we bring it in. And I proudly got my basket. I went yesterday, I got this from Goodwill. This is a pretty basket. I like it. You know what's in my basket? Now, y'all understand I'm not talking about what's in this physical basket. Y'all understand I'm talking about what's in your soul. I'm talking about what we got inside of here. Everything that's inside of here is what the people need. What inside of here is what's going to feed the 5,000 people. Because you can't take what's inside of here. It's a bunch of junk. You can't take it out and feed anybody. I want my basket to be full of him. And as I walk around with my basket, we walk into church all the time. And as we come around, we say, oh, I got my basket. Look at me. I'm a Christian. I dress just right. I got everything just right. You don't see me going here. You don't see me going there. Everything that I'm doing is exactly, I got my basket, Sister Wanda. I got my basket. But you know what? What's in this basket? So I go around and, can I help you, sister?
Yes, do you have some prayer in here?
Well, let me look. Let me see what I got in here in my basket. Let me see.
I need some
Oh,
prayer.
look. You know, I'm going to tell you what I did. I went to Goodwill yesterday, and I found this material. And no, let me see.
How about some help? You have some help. You got
Let me see.
some help?
Oh, let me see my Bible.
Prayer?
My Bible. Oh, you know what? I leave my Bible at church because that's where Brother Jamie reads to us. It's in the pew. Hold on. Maybe some.
You have some guidance in there?
Oh, have you ever read these good Christian books? I love to read them. You know, no. Wait. Let me show you. Look, I got my Bible on my phone. Hold on a minute. No, you see how much junk is in my basket? This is all junk. This means absolutely nothing. Is there something inside of me that says I can help that woman? You know what I should have done? I should have said, oh God, stop right here, right now. What's in this basket is you, God. I want that anointing to flow all over me. I should have been able to pull out my Bible and say, look right here, thus saith the Lord. You remember those little bottles of oil that we had? I should have had it in my bottle. I should have been able to pull it out and just say, in the name of Jesus, what you need is Jesus, not my junk. You don't care if I sew stuff on the bottom of my skirt so I can make them a little longer so I can go to Guatemala. You don't care that I like doing crafts. You don't care that I got a family that I have given my life to. You don't care that I like reading books. What you need is what I've got in here. Do we have in here what can feed 5,000 people? Do you have your basket full? Is it full of something that Jesus can take and use? Can he use what you got in your basket? I don't know. Only you can answer that question. If you go to 1 Samuel 2:12, it says, now the sons of Eli were sons of Belial. They knew not the Lord. Eli was a great priest, a great man of God. And if you read that story, you find out how Hannah wanted a little boy. She couldn't have a child. And she went to the temple and she prayed and she prayed and she prayed. And Eli came up to her and he said, you need to put away your strong drink. You need to put away your wine. And she says, no, you don't understand. I want a child. I want a little boy. I just want one so bad. And Eli, she said, if you'll call that blessing, if you'll tell me that, I will devote him to this temple. I will give him to the service of the Lord. Well, that's what she did. She gave Samuel to him whenever he was weaned, and she took him and she gave him to the temple. Well, Eli had 2 sons. They were awful. You know what was in their basket? Even though they was raised in the temple, even though their father preached to them, even though they was there and they heard it from a child up, what was in their basket? Junk. They took the sacrifice and they stole it from the people. They was laying at the gate with women that were not their wives. They were horrible people. But you know what? Eli knew it. A prophet came to him and he said, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. Eli knew what was in his house. Eli knew what was in those baskets, but Eli chose not to clean it up. Let me tell you something. My grandchildren come to my house. It's my responsibility to make sure my basket has the right stuff in it. If they're watching television and it's something awful, we're not doing that in my house. You know why? Because those grandbabies, those are mine. God's given those to me. Just like with Eli, he had those 2 boys, and what happened? He let them go. He let them do what they wanted to do. God told Samuel, he woke him up 3 times, and he went in there and he said, here am I. And Eli said, it wasn't me, go back. After the 3rd time he perceived, he said, it was the Lord. Next time you say, here am I, Lord, for your servant heareth. So Samuel God spoke to him and he told him what was going to happen to Eli because of all the junk that was in his basket, of all the junk that was inside of those boys that Eli allowed to continue. This is the temple of God. We don't bring that junk inside of this house and think God's not going to say something about it. We have to carry our baskets. And I don't care if you walk through those doors and you got your basket and you think, oh, everything is wonderful. I got my basket. But then if you don't come in and you don't allow God to clean up what's in here, what's going to happen? You're going to turn around and you're going to walk right back out them doors with that same junk inside of this basket. I don't want that. I don't want this junk in the basket to stay the same. I believe that if Eli would have listened, I believe that there's a good chance that Eli would not have died. His two sons would have not have went to battle and died. Eli would not have fell off of that chair backwards and broke his neck. And I also believe that the Ark of Covenant wouldn't have been stolen and his grandson would not have to been called Ichabod because the covenant had been taken away. You know why? Because the junk was allowed to remain. We can't leave the junk inside and think God's going to just continue to blow and continue to bless. You can't come into this house with junk inside of here and expect the Lord to still bless you. I heard Brother Jamie preach a couple of weeks ago and he said that he knew somebody that come up and they would speak in tongues and they would preach, but yet they were homosexual. That's not God. Brother Jamie admitted, he said, it's not God, and I agree with him. That's not God. What is in your basket? What is inside of you? What do you have that Jesus can use for you? What do you have? Go to Exodus 2 and 3. We're going to go to the contrast. We heard about how Eli allowed his sons to be that way and how he didn't make sure that the junk was taken care of. It says that when she, Moses' mother, could no longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes and daubed it with slime and with pitch and put the child therein, and she laid it in the flags by the river banks. Here you got a mother, and that they've been told that all the man-child would be killed. That was her everything. How many of you, I've got a boy, I've got children, those are my everything. And let me tell you what, Moses' mother, she took care. She didn't just take him and just place him in a basket and throw him out in the water so water could come through and the baby could possibly drown. No, she took the time as she went through and she covered that basket. She took great care to make sure what she was putting in that basket was going to make it. And then she placed it in that water. And I believe by the divine miracle of God, that baby in that basket led right over to where Pharaoh's daughter was at. And then she seen him, she picked it up and she said, oh, isn't that lovely? She took him home and Moses' mother ended up raising him, and Moses was inside of Pharaoh's temple. And the reason he was there, what did he do? He ended up bringing out the people from Egypt. He brought them out. He saved them. What if she had not taken so much care? What if we don't take care of our baskets? What if we come in every day, we take our baskets, we don't care what's in this basket? This is mine. This is my stuff. You don't care what's in here. This is my stuff. My cell phone's in here with my personal stuff, my books that I like to read, I like to do crafts. That's my life. That's me. You don't care. But until you come to the place where you're down and you say, I need something. I need prayer. Brother Kevin, what's in your basket? Brother George, what's in your basket? Can somebody come to you in a moment's notice and say, I need God. I need God right now. I don't have time to hear about your stupidness in your life. I need God now. I need him now. What's in your basket? What is in your basket? I told Brother Jamie, yes, I told him that I feel like God called me to preach. Right after I did that, it was January 5th. We were standing up here and I was singing with the worship. We did the choir, and as I went walking down, about halfway down, God spoke to me. And I'm going to be really real with you guys tonight. God said, you're going to be quiet. And I'm going to restore. I'm going to restore you, and I'm going to reveal my glory to you. I walked on back. I went over and I sat down beside Steve. I couldn't even tell you. I had to go back. I'm sorry, Brother Jamie, and listen later to the message, because my mind, that's all I could think about. God, I don't want to be quiet. I like to laugh. I like to have a good time. God, I don't want to be quiet. We went out to eat that day to Bono's, and I sat there. I didn't enjoy a bit of it. All I wanted to do was just go home, because I just kept thinking about that. God, I don't want to be quiet. God, what are you doing? What are you doing? We come back to church that night, and Brother Jamie, I don't know if you remembered or not, but you stayed up and you was preaching, and you said, I don't know who it's for, but God said, I'm going to restore you, and I'm going to show you my glory. And then you said, do you receive that? And I did, because I knew God was just confirming what he showed me. It wasn't too long after that, I was in my closet one morning and I was praying. And in my prayer life, I start out with, God, if there's anything in me, you take it out. I don't want it. Clean my basket up. That's basically what I was saying. I didn't say that, but that's what I was initially saying. And in the middle of that, and all of my talking, praying, I heard God say, Mary, what's in your basket? Well, Lord, I get up every morning and I study and I listen to somebody preaching and I listen to singing, and then I go to work all day long, and everywhere I go, you're going to hear Mary singing a song everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. Lord, it's me. God asked me again, Mary, what's in your basket? I said, God, I help Sister Donna Kay with Sunday school. I do the worship. I study. I've been fasting more. I've been praying more. God, it's me, God. You know what's in my basket. And I heard it another time. He said, Mary, what's in your basket? And I just stopped. And there's a stool that's in our closet that Steve uses to put his foot on. And that's usually where I kneel and I pray. I just kind of stepped back. And I spiritually just picked up what was a fake basket. And I picked it up. Set it on top of that stool, and I said, God, only you know what's in my basket. God, what's in my basket? And if you never want God to show you what's in your basket, don't ask him. Don't ask him from your heart, because he's going to show you. There's a situation at work. It's a charge position. And I wanted that position. I feel like I can do it. I feel like I deserve it. Well, there's another nurse that's there, and she wants that position as well. That's okay. But what ended up happening, and this is the things that, as I'm standing there or kneeling there in my closet that morning, God showed me it was ugly. He showed me jealousy. He showed me envy. He showed me discord. It got so bad that when I go to work and I'm around her, I say a word. Not a word. She asks me a question, I snip at her. She asks me something, I can't even sing a song around her. Because oh no, how dare you? That's my position. God said, Mary, what's in your basket? And I said, God, I don't like what I see. God, you take me. I don't want it. I went to my charge. There's 2 charge nurses at work. I went to them and I said, I don't want the position. Because you know what? What's in this basket is more important to me than getting a charge position at work. I already work too many hours as it is. I tried to figure out a way to put work in here. I got a stethoscope in there, but I was trying to figure out how to do it, because when you work 110 hours in 2 weeks, that's a lot of hours. And I tried to figure out how to put it in there, but I couldn't. But I come to this place, and I started fasting. And I don't mean a fast. I'm not talking about a fast where, okay, God, I'm going to give up breakfast. I don't really eat breakfast anyway, but I'm going to fast breakfast. Or God, I'm going to fast Facebook for a week. What's that going to do you? Nothing. Nothing. I went on a fast to where, I'm not going to tell you how long, but I went on a fast and I said, God, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this weight that's on my shoulders. I'm tired of when I get around her, I'm supposed to be her good friend, and I can't even show your love. I can't even let you feed her. I have no bread. I have no fish. What I had was rotten fish. What I had was bread that was molded, that was no good. What I had was awful. So I told her, I said, Christine, I got to talk to you. So the week was just crazy. We couldn't talk. Well, Friday night when we left, I left late Friday night. And I texted her and I said, please call me when you get off. Steve and I were I'd just gotten home, and Steve and I were sitting on the couch, and the phone rang, and I said, I got to take this in the bedroom. So I went to the bedroom. And I'm not going to lie to y'all, this is hard. To pick up that phone and tell somebody, I told you I was a Christian. I told you that I lived my life for him, but I'm sorry. What I've been doing to you is wrong. What I've been saying and how I've been treating you is wrong. And I beg you, please forgive me. By the end of the conversation, patting myself on the back, none, because I'm telling you, I was awful. She said, Mary, I'm right here at your house. Can I please come? And I said, sure. I went outside, I opened up the garage door, and I walked outside. She got out of her car. And as I walked out of my garage door, we met and we hugged. And I cried and I said, I'm so sorry. This is not the Jesus that I've tried to portray to you. This is not the Jesus that I want you to believe that you're supposed to be living. This is not what Christians are supposed to be like. I want my fish. I want my bread to be so fresh. Every day, I want God to fill me afresh. I want everything within inside of this basket. I want to take the time to make sure that it's all covered by the blood. I want to make sure that everything inside of here is all about Him. I know we have to go to work. I know that there are things that you have to do. I understand that. But you know what? If you don't take the time to make sure this basket is clean, one day you're going to stand before judgment, or you're going to be beating on the door saying, oh God, here am I. Remember me. I was there. I sung your songs. I taught Sunday school. I led the singing. God, remember me. Is God going to say, it ain't nothing but junk. It ain't nothing but junk. You didn't take the time to make sure that everything in here was good. You didn't take time to make sure that I was the one blessing it. No, we've got to take the time to allow Him to restore, to allow Him to come in and clean us up. When I began telling y'all I was so excited about restoration, I'll be honest with you, I never knew it was going to go this route. I'll be honest with you, I'm still excited about it because I believe God's restoring. And I believe, just like He spoke to me walking down that aisle, that I'm going to be quiet until He tells me that I need to do what I need to do, and until He shows His glory. It wasn't too long after that, Brother Jamie texted me. And in his text, he said, because I know you got a sermon burning in your bones or something like that. He wasn't kidding. This is all I could think about. This is all I could think about. All I could think about was, oh God, what's in my basket? We go every day. Every day. You know, we think about Samson. Samson was raised in it. Samson was used mightily of God. Samson, God used him to do so many things, but what did Samson do? He allowed his basket to get so full of lust, so full of worldly things that he lost his vision. I don't want to have to lose my vision to see him. I want my vision to stay upon him all the time. I don't want to have to lose this vision just to be able to see him. You know, and I believe that as Samson was out there, after they took his eyesight, I could just see him out there walking around doing, I don't even know what it's called, but he was walking around every day as they walked around. And I bet every day I could hear him say, God, I'm so sorry. I let my basket get full of junk. I let my basket get so full of this world, and I let you down. But God, if you will only avenge me mine eyes. God, I'm sorry. I believe Samson, I did what Samson did. He finally said, okay, God, I'm sorry. Clean me up. And God did. And Samson stood there in between those pillars, and he pushed and killed more people at his death than he did all of his life. I don't want to come to that place. I don't want to come to the place where I lose my vision. What's in your basket? I say, Lord, I pray. And I pray for each and every one of you. And what I do is I start right back there with Sister Wanda and Brother Scott, Sister Diane and Brother Mike. I come up. I go up every one of you. I mention your name. Every one of you. I go down the center and I go over there. Every one of you, I mention your name in prayer. Not that I'm something great, but because you know what? I believe God's got something for Middleburg Church of God. I don't believe that he expects us to just sit here, come in with our baskets, and sit down on our pew, and Brother Jamie gets done, or we sing our songs, Amazing Grace, How Sweet the Sound, What's for dinner, what are we going to do tomorrow? No. Oh, they're done. Sit down. Brother Jamie gets up and preaches, and then we pick up a basket, and we walk back out the door. I don't believe that's what we're supposed to do. I don't believe that Brother Jamie pours his heart into his messages for us to come in here and sit and then walk out those doors exactly the same way. I don't believe that's what it's for. What's in your basket? Search yourself. I'm not talking about what's in your physical basket or in this material basket. I'm talking about what's right here. When was the last time you took this basket, and you brought it up to this altar? You say, there it is, God. I really don't want to know what's in that basket. When was the last time you laid it down and you said, God, here it is? Take it all out, because if it's in there, I don't want it. You know, we got our cell phones, and those are wonderful things, and we use it to read our Bible, and that's really great, because I search something out, and then I'll go to the Bible app, and I'll read it, when I'm at work, and I don't have my Bible with me. It's great. But if you're not careful, what's going to end up happening is while you're looking at that Bible app, Facebook, bing, and you, oh, wait, what's this? Or Snapchat, or somebody will text you, and then where's your mind gone? It's gone away from worrying about what's in this basket. When's the last time you took your basket and you laid it down and you said, God, clean me up? God, what's in here? I need for you to clean up what's in my basket. Brother Jamie, when he was preaching about last Sunday about the cleaning up your house, I told him, I said, Brother Jamie, you walked all over, and I kept waiting for him to say what's in your basket. As he talked about cleaning up, we got to clean it up, people. We got to clean this up, and we can't do it by ourselves. We got to set it down, because I tell you what, when it come to that position at my job, I didn't see what I was doing wrong. What I seen was that was mine, and I wanted it. Hogwash. That's what I call that. That ain't nothing but a bunch of material things that doesn't matter to nothing, because when I walk over into glory, God's not going to ask me, Mary, did you make day surgery charge nurse? He's not going to care. He's not going to care. What he's going to care about is when he shows me what's in my basket, if I clean it up. And let me tell you something. It ain't on me all week, and everybody at work kept coming. Well, actually, it's been about 3 weeks now. Everybody's been coming to me, Mary, what's wrong with you? You're too quiet. We don't like this Mary. The other Mary needs to come back because I was so quiet. I couldn't really tell anybody why. One, because I was ashamed, to be honest with you. I didn't want to tell everybody, well, you know what? I got jealousy in me. I didn't want to tell everybody I got envy in me. I didn't want to tell everybody, well, that's my position and I think I deserve it. No. I was ashamed. Because I proclaim to be the Christian. And everybody knows at work that I'm the old fuddy-duddy and I don't drink and I don't smoke and I never have. I don't even know what some of the alcoholic drinks they are. I have to say, is that wine or liquor? I don't even know. So what? Because you know what? Because I didn't know that means nothing. What was in here was awful. It was awful. And I had to set it down, sitting there in my closet that day. I took it and I set it over on that little stool and I said, God, what's in my basket? You show me. And not only show me, but show me what to do to get rid of it. Calling her and talking to her, I did not want to call her. I'm not going to lie to you. I did not want to talk to her. Because this flesh side said, no, Mary, that's shameful. Don't do that. Don't admit that you're wrong. Just pray about it and leave it in God's hands. No, I wronged her. We're supposed to, we come to the altar to pray, and if we know our brother has aught against us, or if we know we have something that's there, we're supposed to go to that person. And that's what I had to do. And that's exactly what I did. Let me tell you something. When I walked out of my garage, and I walked out there, it was freezing cold. I walked out there, and we wrapped arms, and we cried. And I said, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. The tears just flowed because I was so ashamed of what I had allowed this girl to do. Because I was junk. We finally said our goodbyes. We talked for maybe 10, 15 minutes. We said our goodbyes. She had to go pick up her boys, and I walked back in the house. Let me tell you something. I walked in my house like this. Because you know what I said? Goody, goody, devil! You can't win! Because I allowed God to clean up my basket. And let me tell you something. I walked in and I sat down beside Steve, and he said, what was that about? I said, ain't God good? I said, I took care of what God told me to do, as hard as it was. And I stand here tonight and I tell you, I don't know if tomorrow something else isn't going to come. But I'm telling you what, all I know is I've got this basket. And I'm going to make sure this basket is exactly what He wants. It has to be Him. You know, we cover it up with Jesus. We put our little Jesus label all over it. We put our Jesus stickers on it. We do everything that we can. We wear our crosses. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just using that as an example. We wear our crosses and we do everything. For what? Because when you open it up and you look down inside and God says, I can't use none of this. I can't use this. This is no good to me. Yeah, I'm glad you read Christian stuff. I'm glad that you want to make your stuff long enough. I'm glad you enjoy being with your family. That's great. But God says, what can I use? What can I use? What's in your basket that Jesus can use? What's in your basket? And Brother George, I'm just going to use you as an example. You fix them cars. That's wonderful. That's great. But what's in your basket? Brother Mike, what's in your basket? Sister Rhonda, what's in your basket? What is in there that God can use? Do you have rotten, stinky, smelly fish? Do you have molded bread? Or do you have something that God says, I can use that? Just like I spoke once before, I said that I talked about the potter and how he takes that clay and he molds it. It's not the end. It's not too late. Just like God showed me, and I allowed Him to clean up my basket. Same thing. It's not too late, just like Brother George sung tonight. I was thinking about that song as he was singing it. God, if not for your grace, if not for your grace, you know what he would have let me do? He would have let me still do what? I still would have been ugly. He wouldn't have forgiven me for what I was doing. He wouldn't have given me the opportunity to fix things. But because of his grace, because of his mercy, my prayer is that God will begin in each and every one of you. And you'll take the time. Personally, I stood in my bathroom mirror with tears running down my face. And I stood there looking at myself in the mirror. I don't like you. I don't like what you've been doing in the name of Jesus. Stand and do it sometime. Stand and look in the bathroom mirror. I don't talk about looking at your eyes. What color are they? You got wrinkles here, you got there. No, I'm talking about looking to your soul. See what God sees. Because I'm promising you, if you do it out of sincere heart, God's going to show you some things. Because there's not a one of us that can stand here tonight and stand up and say, I'm perfect. I have no sin. I don't know what you're talking about. I would have never done those things that you done, Mary. There's not a one of us tonight that can stand and say that because there was only one perfect. Every one of us have that opportunity to come and bring our baskets over and over and over again and allow God to clean them up. Sister Amy, I pray that when you come tonight and you seek God, I pray that you take your basket and you lay it down. And you say, God, show me what's in my basket. Will what I have feed 5,000 people? Will what I have in here be something that people can come away and say, surely that was a Christian? I'll tell you that after I got through talking to Christina, we got done. And this is no bragging on myself because what I did was awful. But she stood there with tears running down her face. And she said, Mary, thank you. You've told me that you were a Christian. I've heard you sing your songs. I know you go to church. But tonight, you showed me that you were really a true Christian. Thank God. I was willing to humble myself and go in and realize that I was wrong and apologize. Because, you know, we're the only book and the only Bible that some people read. Which she had walked away believing that that's the way Christians are. My God, I had her hands. I had her soul right there in my hands. And I was wronging her. Thank God he allowed me. Thank God for his grace that I could walk over and I can make things right. Let's all come. Let's all bring our baskets. And let's all say, God, if there's anything in here that you're displeased with, is there anything in here, God, that you are displeased with and you want me to get rid of because we don't need to hold on to it? What we need to do is lay it all down and give it all to him because that's what really matters.
No matter your condition. Do you feel like no one knows just where